Accelerating to transit speed in 3, 2, 1.
Oh my god. This place is massive.
Far more expansive than even the holomap implied.
So, where is everyone? What could have happened here?
It is difficult to determine the station's condition from this distance.
Well, I'm not getting my hopes up. Wait,
Something wrong.
Oh nein.
do you see that? Up ahead in the cavern.
Wieder das Scheißzeug.
Oh my god. It's the biomass.
It must be reacting to the energy flowing through the tram line.
Dass man nicht gleich schief geht.
Wait. Are we? We're slowing down.
The tram is on autopilot. Controls are locked until we reach the end of the line. Well, you did want to know what happened to the station.
Right. Serves me right for asking. Is it possible to feel utterly blindsided and at the same time completely unsurprised?
Was ist das denn da?
Approaching destination. Stand by for deceleration. Please hold on. Reducing speed in 3, 2, 1.
At least there's one thing we know Juno was telling the truth about.
What's that?
It probably was a lot safer in the hat.
Now arriving Taiwan Station, Central Transit Hub.
Och, Mädel.
Looks clear, as far as I can tell. Let's have a look around, see what we can find.
Welcome to Cairo Station. Today's date is 24 April 2537.
Right. Well, at least the big holographic tree still works.
Indeed. It's possible the power grid is more stable in this area.
What is this?
There's an inscription here. Dedicated to all those we have lost. Devoted to all those we have yet to save.
Doesn't exactly paint a rosy picture, does it?
Chiron Station. Dedicated 10th of March 2522. Lux hominum vita.
Light of the life of mankind.
Curious.
What'd you find?
A scrap of fuselage from the Kronos 2.
You sure?
The markings are unmistakable. It's been preserved in a glass display.
Awful lot of ceremony for a 400-year-old hunk of debris.
Warning. Environmental systems compromised. Atmosphere suboptimal.
Still no life support.
We still have time. We'll find a stable environment. Don't worry.
Who's worried?
The rate of decline in these O2 stats appears to confirm the issue is indeed power-related, rather than a problem with the environmental system itself. That may indicate there are more hospitable conditions elsewhere on the station. At least that would be my hope.
Right there with you.
Liv, up here.
What is it?
It appears to be an old Atlas transport.
And what do you suppose a ship from our time is doing here?
I brought it here.
Juno?
Hello, Captain Rhodes. Jack.
Hey.
I'm glad to see you're still safe.
Juno? Are you saying this is your ship?
That's a complicated question. The ship is my home, but it doesn't belong to me.
What about life support? Does the ship still have atmosphere?
The ship is currently suffering the same power disruptions as the station. However, if one were to cycle the ship's reactor,
Then we'd have life support.
in theory,
How do we get on board?
the docking platform is in the next sector, through the security checkpoint. I can show you the way.
Hold on. You're not allowed to tell us anything about the ship itself, but helping us get on board, that's no problem.
My primary directive is to keep you alive, and the best way to do that is to get you on board the ship. The door's sealed. I will need a moment to bypass the security constraints.
So you're really not part of the station?
I am what's known as a transient program, capable of gaining limited access to a variety of different networks. But I consider the ship to be my true home. There we are.
Never thought I'd see an Atlas ship out the window again.
Do you think it's safe following Juno to that ship? There's clearly a lot more she has yet to tell us.
Yeah, but not by choice. Somebody's pulling her strings. And I'll bet whoever it is, they're on that ship. Looks like we've got another door on the blink.
Let's get a closer look.
Can you see anything? What is that?
That is a tick. Two, actually. There's another one in here as well, beating on the door.
I'm sorry, you say that like I'm supposed to know what it means? Ugh.
Ticks are an evolved form of the biomass.
How do you mean, evolved?
Accelerated evolutionary growth is an inherent physiological trait in all biomass forms. It's one of the main reasons that biomass is so resilient.
Why does it keep following me like that?
Ticks instinctually seek out the closest viable energy source, which in this case happens to be you.
Oh, lovely. Alright, so now what do we do?
The only way we can proceed is by removing those ticks.
Well, let's have a look around then. There's got to be some way to get rid of these things.
It seems likely this form of biothreat is closely related to the spore variant we are more familiar with.
It's amazing that despite all the odds, they somehow got uglier.
There isn't any way to get this door open.
So long as that tick is leeching its power, the door is inoperable.
Easier to see without this thing trying to eat my face. Do you see anything that might help?
What about that disposal unit?
That might work. You'll just need to find a way to get them into the chute. It will be dangerous, but I don't see any other option. You'll need to clear the area before boarding the ship.
How the hell are we supposed to clear the room if we can't even get inside?
According to the station schematics, there should be another way to access the security checkpoint through the loading bay. It's just this way.
Nimm mich mit. Auch.
It's awfully dark in there. Are you sure it's safe?
Not as sure as I'd like to be. I'll try to scan the area ahead for potential threats. Stand by.
No use. Can't see a thing. Jack, mind using your headlamp to throw some light in there?
I'm seeing a considerable biomass presence on the other side.
Shit.
Captain Rose,
We know, Juno. We saw it.
I'm afraid this means you'll have to stay behind.
What?
Jack and I will continue through the loading bay. Once we clear the docking terminal...
No, absolutely not.
I'm sorry, Captain, but I cannot allow you to proceed. The risk is far too great.
Well, if it's too risky for me, it's too risky for Jack.
It's all right, Liv. I'll be careful.
Jack, no. We've been over this. Listen, I know you're used to thinking of yourself as
So kalt, ne?
invincible, but you're not. Not anymore. If you go in there with only one shell and something happens, you could...
Actually, Captain, I think there may be a way for Jack to avoid that possibility.
Yeah, you can avoid it by not going.
As I was scanning the loading bay, I detected a working fabricator in the adjacent section. If Jack and I can get it powered on, we should be able to use it to scan his architecture into the station's database.
So... you're saying he'd be able to reboot again?
Exactly.
Don't worry, Liv. I can handle this.
I promise, Captain. I won't let Jack do anything that might put him in jeopardy.
All right. All right. If we're gonna do this, let's do it. Just watch yourself in there, okay?
Ja, da hör auf.
I'll be waiting back at the security entrance.
Understood. I'll see you on the other side.
Let's maybe mind our phrasing, yeah?
Oh, I didn't mean...
It's all right. I know what you meant. Good luck.
Tschö.
Popcorn.
Wie, ich darf ihn nicht mitnehmen.
I'll unlock the door for you. Stand by. Ready when you are. Jack, up here. The emergency power switch is in this control room.
How do I get inside?
You'll need to go through the maintenance ducts. There should be an access way nearby.
You're sure all the biomass in this sector is dormant?
As sure as I can be. Of course, that will change once we get emergency power back online.
But by then he'll be able to reboot, right?
It will take a minute or two to get Jack scanned into the system, but that is more or less correct.
Da hinten. Das ist der Sackgasse. Schauen wir mal. Da, da. Das heißt, ich muss hier gleich auch wieder durch.
Ah, there you are. This override switch will restore emergency power to the local grid. Emergency power has been restored. The door to the loading bay is unlocked.
What about the fabricator?
Online and ready to scan. Jack, if you'll follow me. Just climb inside and we'll begin. This will only take a few moments.
New template created. Echo Unit Series 11. Initializing fixed tomographic scan. Mapping target composition. Replicating internal functionality. Linking neural matrix to network. Scan complete.
Did it work?
Scan output shows no errors. Neural connection is green. Yes, it worked.
You're sure?
From this point forward, if Jack's shell becomes damaged or destroyed, he will automatically reprint at the nearest working fabricator.
Well, Jack? How do you feel?
This should make removing those ticks much easier.
Well, I'd imagine there's a lot that gets easier when you're basically invulnerable.
Indeed. It's unfortunate that fabricators are incapable of replicating organic matter. Otherwise, Captain, we'd be able to scan you into the system as well.
Right.
Okay.
Well, the important thing is Jack's back to normal.
We're all done here. Jack, I've reopened the access hatch. Make your way back through the maintenance duct. I'll be waiting for you by the entrance to the loading bay.
On my way.
Be careful.
Right.
Restoring emergency power has awakened the biomass, so unless you're planning to test your new reboot ability, I would avoid all contact.
Understood.
Well done making it through unharmed. It's clear you've had extensive experience with the biomass.
More than enough, yes.
Yeah.
Now then, this corridor will take us through the loading bay and back around to the rear entrance of the security room. After you, Jack.
Liv, we are moving into the loading bay.
Copy that. Keep me posted on comms, alright?
Of course.
I'll continue to scan the station's database for any additional schematics or equipment that might be of use.
Sure, you do that. Good luck in there, Jack.
Ja. Ich hol die Energiequelle. In der Knarre.
The way ahead is through this door. But if you try to open it now, the tick is sure to attack you. We should find a way to pacify it, before we even attempt opening the door.
What is this panel in the floor?
An electrical bypass. It allows you to direct emergency power to various systems in the area. You can use your cutter to gain access.
Juno, what is this crane used for?
It utilizes a zero-point energy stasis field to carry and sort incoming cargo. At least when it's powered on. Its primary power source is currently offline. You can lift the lever to reroute power. Ah, so the bypass powers the crane arm. That will certainly keep the tick occupied. Now we should be able to safely open the door. We're fortunate the store has an emergency release. Not all of them do. Now just pull the release handle and the door will unlatch. That's it. You should be able to slide the door open.
Is this crane mobile?
I believe so. You should be able to use the overhead handles to push it along the rail, or use the turning wheel to rotate the arm. Shields at 50%. Shields at 30%.
Das war eine dumme Idee. Okay, damit kann ich nicht killen.
Jack? Jack, are you alright?
Ja, ja,
I'm here. The fabrication process and data transfer were both successful.
Oh, thank God for that.
My former shell, were we on the Kronos 2, we would eventually attempt recovery.
That won't be necessary. We can simply continue to reprint as needed.
Suits me fine. I'm just glad we have your reboot protocols back.
Watch yourself. There are 2 more ticks at the end of the corridor.
ja, wo ist die jetzt? Die Scheißviecher jetzt von mir fern.
Shields at 95%. Shields at 50%.
Da lasse ich jetzt einen Berg von Leichen oder was?
Perhaps you can push the crane towards the other ticks. I advise holding the rail to anchor yourself as you move the crane.
Soll ich mal vorne dran denken können? So ein Dreck.
Another tick. Take care moving forward.
Another bypass.
It probably powers something in this room. You can use your cutter to open it, just like the last one. Doors powering up.
What's in these containers?
Dietary provisions, most likely. Salt, coffee, various synthetic grains.
Whoa, wait. Back up. You found coffee?
I wouldn't advise drinking this coffee, Captain. I'm sure it's past its expiry date.
How far past?
Liv, the containers are infested with biomass.
They're do you know? Maybe next time lead with that?
How were we routed? It appears the transformer on the far wall is now live. That did it. Well done. More ticks in the next room.
We'll need some way to distract them.
Das sieht widerlich aus. Okay.
This crane arm is already online.
The slider is unlocked. You should be able to move the crane just like before.
That looks to be our best option for distracting those ticks.
If you can find a way to lure them out.
The tick can sense me through the glass.
Yes. As long as it can read your energy signature, the tick will continue to follow you.
Perhaps I can use that to my advantage.
Indeed. Ticks may be deadly, but they're not exactly intelligent.
Got it.
Skillful work, Echo One.
Door power restored.